he rides on a horse, it will not be able to look new even if one washed it in a bathtub. First of all, it will damage it, but one could still do it. Once it will not damage too much, but even then it will not look really, really new, but it will look still impeccable. There's a difference between new and impeccable. It will still look immaculate. But after a year, it will look sort of worn, well worn. But after 180 wears, it cannot look new. Even with repairs, whatever. Which he obviously does. Repairs have to, I wear this clothing daily, and repairs have to be done like every month max. If you wear it for 30 wears, a button is touched and stitching itself, or something will go wrong and you have to just take your needle and thing and repair it. Also with repairs like Calotop, it is valid, the maid, whatever doing it, but they were constantly being repaired until the cloth basically has like a hole, and you have the option to patch it like I did on this modern coat, but obviously it shows. Or you have the option to then not wear it. You can't wear it. When the cloth dies, you have to either patch it or get the more expensive manner of re-weaving the cloth, which costs, in today's money, Samuel can do it. It cost 100, and it was the same price in Palace. I asked one chap. He told me it was 100 euros per small hole like that. And still, it will not look absolutely the same and new, but also looks much better than that. And when the hole is too big, they cannot really do it. If the cloth is too damaged, it is not worth doing it. It would cost like 500 to 1,000 euros in today's money. And the cloth being that damaged, it will, on the sides, still after a month of wear, pull, and the whole thing will just break again. So if you really want to wear something that used, that there's a massive hole, for honestly, if you stole it properly, and there are no moths, even if you wear it every day, these old heavy cloth coats like Calotop wears, you would have to wear it for, I think, at least 20 years, or at least 10 years, every freaking day of your life. For most of the day, for there to be a huge hole, the cloth would practically be dying, and there would be no point of even patching it because the cloth is dead. So you patch this, it looks ugly, it pulls on the fabric everywhere, so it is uncomfortable wearing, it becomes almost too small, the armhole, for example. And then, because it pulls, it adds extra weight in the back, like extra pulling friction. And the cloth being very used after 20 years, it would anyhow, after like a month or 2 weeks or even just a week, start having a hole there. So by then you can start off thinking, well, either I want to wear it with the hole and look like a tramp, or just not wear it, like it is not repairable. But it takes ages for it to reach to that level. Or you have to store it like a nitwit, forget it for a year in an old attic, and it gets eaten by moths. But if you store it properly, it will not happen. We will not have moths, so the moths will not eat it. So what happened was, back then, usually in movies, characters have too many outfits. Like, people would wear the same thing every day, and they would only wash the undergarments. I have a bit enough of Gangs of New York, so I want to just talk about clothes, generally speaking. Is that thing even filming? My mother was born in 55, alright? This is not a very old person. She was born in 1955. Her grandfather was upper middle class. In fact, he was born in a rich family, but he had lost a lot of money by gambling, so he was sort of upper middle class by the time she was very close with him. And when she was a child, her grandfather, the father solely of her mother, and from the Parisian suburbs. It's quite posh and all, so he was not like some country farm or whatever. And she recalls, she made it wrong, but she recalls that until she was about 10, he would change his shirt every month. This is not 1890, this is 1955, when they already have a washing machine. Even he had a washing machine. So, and even he would wear his shirt for a month. And this is not in Palestine or whatever, this is like in France. A man born in 1903 from a very upper middle class / elite family with a lot of money, well educated. So the attitude of washing the shirt after each wear, after each day as well, max 2 days, is very modern, is very, very, very recent. Back in like the late 19th century, back even in 1900, only like rich people would do that. I mean, like actually rich. Even in Canada job does not do that, because the way to wash things and to starch it and to wash it, you have to restarch it, you have to remove all the starch, and the only manner to do that is to boil the shit, which obviously damages it. So if you start wearing it every day, 4 shirts will not be enough, because for 6 months, being boiled almost every day, it will just destroy the shirt after like a month max, or a month and a half max. And then he wants each shirt to be made by the same man, fully by one man. So how would he have the time? It's not even a question of money, more the time. So